Hello and good day, everybody. JJ Edwards here with another tape reading and live execution. In the previous episodes, I only used order flow trading platform, which rose questions how much this platform can cost and the setup. I realized not every retail have access to order flow and can pay up to $200 subscriptions for the data and for the platform. Therefore, I want to have a few episodes that is focused on price action and a few indicators, fair value gaps. Of course, trading with order flow has more precise entries and exits, but that doesn't mean we cannot make money using price action and classic indicators. Here in front of me, we are looking at Nasdaq E-mini index future. That's 1 hour. As you can see in the 1 hour chart, we have exceeded the upper line of this bullish channel right here. Now, what I want to do is to go to lower time frame and check if we can have a reversal. For a reversal, I would like to use the Alligator indicator, but the way I utilize Alligator is a bit different. I will explain everything in details. For a reversal, we are required to record the last time the price touched any of these lines. Also, we have to mark the last time Alligator actually made a crossover. So here we can see we do have a cluster right in this portion of the chart. Therefore, I would like to utilize my rectangle to mark this area and extend it to the right side. Price range will work as a reversal. That means once the price closes below this low, I can utilize the same range to plant short position on Nasdaq. So let's have those lines on our chart. The lowest price is at 27,253 and the highest price is at 27,363. Right now, all we got to do is to wait. Once we have the reversal and a change in the character of the market, I will update this video and then we will talk more about Alligator and how to utilize this fantastic indicator into our advantage and into our trading. Another indicator that I utilize to find market reversal is the momentum indicator. This indicator is designed by Larry Williams. This indicator specifically tells me where the market is exhausted and which high can be a fake high. Over here you see the momentum indicator made a new low, a new higher low. However, on the other hand, Nasdaq made a new higher high. This divergence indicates something is fishy, something else is going on behind the scene. Once we have that break of structure, we will figure out if we are going to have a reversal or not. Therefore, stay with me. Now we have that crossover in the Alligator indicator. So when we have a crossover which expands from 7:40 New York time AM all the way to here 7:49, I'm going to highlight all these candles. So these candles would help me to place my orders, meaning if the price returns to this area, I would like to short it. But still, we are waiting for that break of structure. So first and foremost, let's highlight the candles that emerge or formed after the crossover. Since we have that crossover, now we can use the upper portion of the new box to place a pending order. And as for the stop, I would like to move it to the high of the last bullish candle, because the last bullish candle represents bull trap. The price should not exceed 50% of this range. In this scenario, because I do like to close partially at this low, that's why I added a few more orders to close them partially at 27,256. This will provide a more flexible approach to this trade, because we do have one liquidity feed or below this level. This feeding zone, which is a sell-side liquidity, hasn't been touched yet. Therefore, there is a high chance for the market to bounce from this area. That's why it is wise to close partially at that low. Here I have added one more micro contract to my position. What I would like to do to remove this micro contract and make it 5 contracts in total if all of them are filled. The reason why I did this is because we have 2 bullish candles in here. I am talking about this one and that one. If these 2 bullish candles act as trapped buyers, the market tails into 50% of that range, which is also the red line or the middle line of the alligator. That should provide a resistance for the price, which could cause the price to decline even faster. That's why I took or added one more position to my short order. Oh well, look at that. We just had a big drop, but did not take our partial. Only a few dollars was left to our partial. The price is doing funny businesses now. Because we are approaching 7:30, look at the time. It's macro time. High impact news usually releases at 8:30, and we are 8 minutes to 8:30. But today, as I see, we only have high impact news for the Canadian dollar. The price did tap into the liquidity below this low, but I guess the spread was high and did not get me a good fill. Let's see if the price would take my profit this time. However, I do want to measure this tail because it is causing problem. I would like to exit one contract here. The first order is hit. Once the third order is hit, I would like to move the stop to break even. Now, this candle is kind of important. I would like to see this candle closes below that tail. If it wakes up, then the probability decreases. Let's go to 30 seconds. As you can see over here, in that 1 minute, the price respected this range. Do you see that? It did not close above it. Now I can move the stop lower to break even and cover the commissions. So 2 micro contracts, I have something around How much is the commission? That's $14. Now the last stop in the 1 minute time frame, I measured this tail. That's the 50% of that tail. So let's go to 15 seconds time frame, 30 seconds. Let's get out one contract in here and keep the other one to these equal lows if the price tends to purge that liquidity. So let me go through this trade one more time. After Alligator crossover, I highlighted the candles were participated in that crossover, which extends from 7:41 a.m. New York time all the way to 7:46. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles are involved in that. Okay, now the price is speeding toward the 50% of that tail. Let's go to 30 seconds. I'm not using any order flow platform, therefore I have to speculate where to leave my pending orders or partials. If I had my order flow trading platform on, I could simply use point of control or value area low. But that's okay, we are learning other strategies. As I mentioned before, ICT or price action, even using indicators, they are nowhere near as successful as a trader can be by using order flow platform and volume profile, especially the cumulative volume delta. It's a very useful indicator. But since it costs a lot of money, something around $150 to $200 a month, I decided to have a series with free tools. This current bounce is inside this bullish fair value gap. So let's find out about the 50% of this level. It is respecting it. That's not good for our trade, but let's see. Maybe I should have taken one partial here, because since I don't know how many volumes are being traded in this area, I can't tell. I only have to rely on hope that the price would accelerate. I don't even know how many volumes are traded at the highs. So this is just hoping that the downtrend would continue. That's the downside of trading price action. However, we do have VWAP. I can anchor the VWAP from to these highs, and then in the source, I can either use close or high. Over here, as you can see, the price did respect the anchored VWAP from this pivot high here and here. However, to have anchored VWAP, I guess you are required to have the TradingView Premium membership. Okay, the second partial is done. Very good trade. Now I can move the stop to this high because these buyers are kind of trapped. So I can move the stop here. This area can provide a significant support to the price because we have sideways chop. That means they were accumulating. So as for the last target, I would like to use the low of this candle. Let's get out here. This video is getting way longer than what I expected.